Oh man, so the Bitcoin price just fell 88%. Can you believe it? I almost had a panic attack, but I didn't. So if you guys are worried about this, nothing to be worried about, nothing to be alarmed about. But this is an education point, and we do need to understand what exactly happened, because on the Binance exchange, on Binance.us, Bitcoin wicked down from $65,000 to $8,200. It was all resolved within a minute, but this actually happened on this exchange. Now, remember, if you're trading on any other exchange, like the ones we monitor on different markets, like Coinbase or the global Binance or Kraken or anything else, there's no wick. You can't see that, okay? You can only see it here on Binance. So what caused this? What happened? Well, what happened here was a trader, a large whale who's transacting a large amount, decided to sell a large volume of Bitcoin on the market instead of setting a limit order, okay? Now, Binance US did not have enough liquidity to cover this, and therefore you get a plummet in price. If you don't have enough liquidity, then you cannot fill the orders and the price just goes down and down, and this trader, this whale, would have got absolutely hurt. Now, the other people who would have got hit are leverage traders, and also anybody who left stop losses, because this would have triggered all your stop losses, guys. All of your stop losses would have got triggered. A lot of people would have got sold out on their positions if you were holding Bitcoin on Binance.us. Okay, I want to take this moment just to look at the amount of leverage in the system, guys. As FOMO goes up, as the fear and greed index is up, we're at 84 right now. Fear and greed index is sitting at the same levels we saw in March when leverage was very high as well. This is a concern for the market, and we need to pay attention to this. Look at this in April, May. This is April where we met our peak of Bitcoin before coming down. Okay, we've gone past that level now, and the funding rates are really high, which shows that a lot of people are taking out leverage on these platforms. A big no-no, and not something that I condone. Please do not trade leverage. You will get liquidated. You will get hurt, just like this. Please don't be this person. Now, the other point I want to mention is please be careful with your stop losses, okay? There's a hard stop loss, which is if Bitcoin hits $50,000, sell my Bitcoin, okay? It will then, if the price triggers 50, it will sell you as quickly as it can. But in this movement, you could have got sold out at 8,200 per your Bitcoin. Ouch. That's why you have to set stop limits, okay? Where you say, if the price hits $50,000, sell up to 45,000. I don't want any less than 45,000 for my Bitcoin. I'd rather keep it, right? Set stop losses. You really need to educate yourself on this. Really important. And on our live stream, this came to our attention. We looked at it. We discussed it in the Discord community. So click the pinned comment in the link below so you don't get caught out in things like this. Our community are discussing these things on a daily basis, and we're educating the community and helping people not get burned like this on exchanges. Now, please remember, this is not the first time this has happened to Binance. I mean, look at this headline here. Binance pledges new controls after 99% flash crash in Polkadot futures, right? This happened on the 5th of March. Let's take a look at this. Bitcoin price flash crashes for the second time in a month in the US. Now, this is going to happen a lot. And the reality is, yes, it's Binance's fault because they don't have enough liquidity. But what do you expect when global regulators are asking these exchanges to compete in an unnatural way? Right? They're the ones who split Binance up. They're the ones who said you have to have separate jurisdiction here in the US and a separate one in the UK and a separate one here and a separate one there. Then obviously their liquidity is going to run thin and people are going to get punished like that. And who gets hurt? It's the average trader like us. So the SEC coming around saying, oh, it's the wild, wild west. People are getting hurt, losing money. You're causing this. Binance were just fine with their global platform. They had plenty of liquidity, right? This didn't happen on the normal global Binance exchange. It happened on the Binance US exchange. And this is going to happen more and more if the SEC want to prod their nose in an ineffective manner. And that is what is happening right now. And guys, we just need to be careful. So again, make sure you're educating yourself on what's happening. Careful with your stop losses. You've got to monitor your crypto. Understand what stop limit orders are. Please educate yourself on this. And obviously, don't panic when you see things like this happening. Understand that it was on the Binance US exchange. Don't go into your exchange and suddenly start panicking. That's not the way to trade, and that's not the way to invest, okay? So don't let these things panic you. That's why we want to build this community here to make sure everybody is switched on around these things, and you have a community where you can head to and ask these tricky questions when they occur like this. Now, I want to come back onto this point on leverage, because this graph really did shock me. Let's go back to April to May time on the Bitcoin chart. Okay, let's get a fresh Bitcoin chart here. And what I want to do is let's go weekly and let's zoom out. Okay, let's look at this. This is April and May. Okay, in April, we hit our peak on Bitcoin. See this? April. Let's go back to what we just had here. April, May. High funding rates. When the market crashed, nobody wanted to take out leverage, right? Now, fear and greed has gone back up. Okay, fear and greed is climbing back up. We can see that, 84 on the fear and greed index. Now look what's happening. Funding rates are going up. People are starting to take out liquid, highly leveraged positions, right? We've seen all those YouTubers. We know who we're talking about, right? we know what we're talking about. They're taking out these positions, 20x, 30x, 100x, trading the way up, trading the FOMO, getting more inexperienced people to do so, and they're the ones who are getting burnt. Instead of doing what you're supposed to do, which is dollar cost average, hodl, build long-term conviction in your favorite plays. This is not financial advice, guys, okay? Now, look, that's what's going to happen to those leverage positions when you get a sudden wick down, right? Everybody is super leveraged now at all-time highs, hoping and waiting for Bitcoin to really go and test all-time high, go and test 75 and 85. I feel it's going to get to 75 and 85 as well. But you best believe I think it's going to happen with a correction, right? And if you suddenly get some whales manipulating the price downwards, we've seen this before. We can look at the Wyckoff patterns. We can look at all the different ways of manipulation occurring, but we know it happens. And if you're sat here all with a bunch of liquid leverage positions, you're the ones that are going to perpetuate us to fall back to $40,000, $30,000, right? We've been through this cycle before. So I'm just hoping the crypto community has matured. We don't need to go through this again. We've been through that. It was because of leverage. Plot that graph on this graph. Where's the similarities, right? Leverage in the system. So let's understand that if you're in Bitcoin, be in Bitcoin for the long term, understand how to trade it. Don't take out 50x leverage positions on Bitcoin. It's the quickest way to get liquidated and to get hurt. Make sure you're constantly educating yourself on the different exchanges and liquidity protocols and how to set your stop losses safely and in an effective manner. And that's what we try to do here in this community. So there you go, guys. No need to panic. Bitcoin is not suddenly worth $8,200. If it was, people would be buying it up. And that's why that was resolved within 1 minute. That person who made that mistake on the exchange, who accidentally put it through as a market order, will have learned their lesson. Whether Binance can go and make sure they've got enough liquidity, they can try, right? But it's difficult. They need to make sure they have enough liquidity in every jurisdiction, which is a lot of liquidity. It's very difficult for them to do that. But no doubt they will try to do that, but it's not the first time. It will not be the last time it happened. We covered some manipulation slash deleveraging on liquidation, on Phantom. We saw a wick the other day on, I think it was FTX on Ethereum. It's going to happen. So understand that that's how the market works. Be safe with your positions. Careful with any stop losses you have. And that's why I advise you, take your Bitcoin and put it on cold storage, right? If you're trading, that's a different game. Trade smartly with your stop limit orders, understand your risk, and watch like a hawk, because things like this can happen. There you go, guys. There's a story behind why Bitcoin fell from $65,000 to $8,200. If you like my perspective and how I break down these situations as and when they occur, this has literally just occurred now and I've brought this video out to you despite being on an hour live stream, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment below what type of things you want me to cover on this channel. Don't forget to hit the join button if you want to become a member of this channel and really support my efforts into building this community and building a blend between fundamental and technical analysis in our crypto journey. And I will see you in the next one.